Good afternoon, everybody. Danny Riley here from MrTopStep, aka new Mr. Pitbull Traders LLC, and Rich Miller from Handlestats. Rich, how you doing?
Great, Danny. Good to be with you this afternoon.
Okay, you got that echo going again.
Oh, hold on one second. I'll take care of that in 1 second. Just got to go here.
That's much better, Rich. Yeah. So pretty exciting markets this week. I mean, really, you go through these kind of dull periods where after the market makes a low and they go up, they kind of lumber along, then they go flying up to a new high and get wackoed by a headline and then go back up, and everything looks so bad, right? I mean, but the markets just remain resilient. I mean, that's really the clutch of it, I believe. But obviously a little weak today. What are you thinking? Okay.
Hey Danny, Rich, you're muted on the stream, so no one can hear you.
I'm muted on the screen.
No, I'm muted on the screen, so I have to unmute Danny. I'll mute when I'm talking to you, but I'll unmute when I'm talking to everybody. I'll have to put up with the echo. We'll figure that out later. Anyway, I'm looking for a little rally back this afternoon.
Hey, Rich.
Yeah.
You're still echoing.
When I mute, you can hear me, but they can't hear me. So you're gonna have to put up with the echo while I'm talking to everybody. We'll figure this out later. Anyway, you were asking me what I'm thinking about this afternoon, and I'm thinking, even though it's low right now, I think we're going to have a little snapback towards the end of the session. Not much, but I really think it's going to come back. I do what I call the volume data bar graph, and I actually did one just before we started. I do one about this time in the afternoon anyway. Let's see where this is. It is. I can go here and grab this. So this is what it is. I look at options volume and compare it. It started out this morning earlier at 68.85. That was the max pain point for this. This only works in the SPX options, and it only works on the day of expiration for the expiring options, by the way. So you see currently where the cash is trading down here at 68.35, which is down in here. It would never go below 6,800 on this, and more than likely we will get some rally back in here, I think, because this VDB has been really strong at predicting where the market's going. So I'm looking. I mean, it may end up down here at 50, but it'll be 15, 20 points higher before the session's over. I really think that, especially if it gets back above this. Actually, right now where we're trading at 68.67. I think we may come back and close above this 68.93. That's one of my 1440 levels. So that's what I would be looking for. I'm not looking for anything, real dramatic. We just hit the one SD level in the S&Ps. We're just slightly below it over here in the NASDAQ. These standard deviation levels. It's been overall, it's been kind of that's been a tight range for the day. It's not really excessive. What is that? 60, couple hundred points right now, and that is at 200 points. Well, I'll have to pull up something else. It's definitely not one of the bigger ranges of what's been going on. What are you thinking, Danny?
Well, I think the news is out. I mean, everything was anticipation of the Fed, anticipation of Trump and the tariff stuff. And it's all out. I mean, now does he get a actually signed deal? I don't know. I mean, you'll know on November 7th, I believe. But look, I again kind of go along with that theory that we've seen every decline all year long bought. And whether it's 450, whether it's 500 points, 600 points, or it's a simple 200-point decline, the theme remains the same. And it's apparent, one of the things that I read into yesterday when Powell was talking about is that they're being cautious. They don't want to say they're not going to lower. They don't want to say they are going to lower in December, and it's all data driven. And I think one of the big parts of that was semi-resolved yesterday or last night when Trump and G supposedly came to agreement. But then again, I think the other wild card to this, and it should be, that they reopen the government at some point before the November. I mean, the December the December meeting, which would really be when they would raise. But I think it'll be long before then, and I think this is just another sell-off that would, like all the others we've seen.
Well, I did a study. I have a program. I call it my event study program, where I can look at days like yesterday for rate changes, what happens on PPI, CPI. But the other thing I look at is what happens the last day of the month, the second to the last day of the month, and the first couple of days of the following month. And I did today's study of what the second to the last trading day of the month is, and I'll pull that up here in a second. Let's see. I gotta go here to compliance and open up my documents and grab this right here. This is the last day. This study covers what the last trading day of October is and what it's been since 2008. So it's up 7 times since 2008, down 10 times. So, it tends to be a little negative on the last day of October. Today, I didn't save that study. The study for today, it was like a 50-50 day, half up, half down. So October can tend to end, it's nothing, real great. But what happens in November, this is the first trade day of November. November, the first trade day since 2008, has been up 13 times and down 4. But here's the real kicker. It's never been down. Every time the first trading day of November has been on a Monday, it's always been up.
Yep.
And if I want to make sure I have this. Yeah, I have that going. And not only has it always been up on Mondays, there's only been one time it's been down on Tuesday. But if it's up on Tuesday, which has been every time except once, Wednesday is also up. So I'm looking for a real powerful rally beginning next week and the following week, and even stronger rally, according to some of the other timing stuff that I do. So Monday, likely to be an up session. They may be trying to beat on this a little bit here at the end of the month, but I don't think they're going to be very successful because we have not had. Let me grab my other chart up here. SPX. I haven't updated this for a couple of days, actually since last week, but you'll get an idea when you look at this here. Where's my daily on here? Daily better. I keep this chart. I've kept meticulous for a long time, but you can see since we had that breakdown in April and we rallied back, the biggest pullbacks. Every one of these little pullbacks has been like 3.332%, 3.16 was this last one we had. That was that rare earth metals thing by Trump. But since here, none of these pullbacks have been more than like a few percent. This market gives back 3% and it just goes straight up again, and it's been doing that since down here back in April. So I'm not looking for any big pullbacks in here. And in fact, going into the end of the year, I think we have a big acceleration up. I think people are going to be shocked by how strong the market's going to be. And I do some other stuff timing wise, and it shows that the second week of November could be a huge up week. And for sure, the last couple of weeks of December, they could move like unexpectedly higher. So that's what I'm looking for. And as I say, these pullbacks here, you can see, I haven't updated this, but we got a lot of gaps and going up here. And will they get filled? Yeah, these may get filled someday. But right now, this trend has been so strong since April. We're up practically 40% from this low down here in April.
Yep.
And Danny, I've been calling for like 73 to 7,400 in the S&Ps for I was calling for that back in April.
Well, actually, it was October of 24.
Oh yeah, well, the first time I called, yeah,
Well, that was when you were telling me that you were really, really going ballistic about the upside.
well, and
You were
here's
throwing out huge high numbers. I thought you were nuts at the time.
well, and here's what the study I did, and I've kept this. This is from back. I made this observation back.
Well, here, remember you told Raj.
Yeah, back in early 2024. This is I've kept this projection up from early 2024, and you can see even earlier this year I said if we get to here and close above here, and this is what I've been showing the people in my room for the longest time. A weekly close above 24,057 targets is 26,815. Well, we're almost there, and this has been quick. And you can see I've had this chart up since over a year ago. I've been watching this chart.
Yeah, I've seen this chart.
And you can see it. When it hit this number almost to the tick. The high rate there is 24,068. This was a 24,057 target, and I've been saying that once we close above there, it targets this. We've had strong closes up there. It's never even come back down. It's going to here. And I think I think we may be there next month, and then if it goes up over there, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if this number here comes up by the end of the year.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be shocked. I mean,
hey, Rich, let's talk real quick about where you're at with your algorithm.
Well, I've been working on this stuff. The whole story about starting to program and everything. I started this about 6 years ago, learning to program and programming, and I keep improving the algorithms, and I think I should have what I call my master algorithm running probably by the end of this year. But I'm taking like 8 different programs and combining them together. It looks at hundreds of different things, and obviously, I've learned with all the things that I've looked at. And just to give you guys an idea, let me just grab this over here. These are all programs. Oh, that's a lot. All these spreadsheets. I build spreadsheets on everything. These are algo trades. I've got stuff that I just keep building on. But these things are things that I keep in the cloud.
But how many files are to the left, to the right? Keep going over, sliding over. This isn't all of them.
Oh no, this is just what I keep on the cloud. So I store in multiple places because I don't ever want to, I've lost work before, and it's you just can't do that. But here's this is on my main computer. These are all the programs these are programs I use every day, like my basic app stats I come up with. They're really good. I have all kinds of studies. That's that max pain point study that I just ran. I have impact. This tells me how much each stock and each move in each stock impacts the S&P. I don't run that every day, but I can. I'm probably going to start running it in my room like regularly. But then the morning. This is my morning gap master. I look at a lot of different things there. But these are all programs that I wrote to get to this full gap, partial gap program right here. And this I run every day. I call it my enhanced gap program because it looks at a lot of things. It's a rather big program, but I keep adding to it, and it looks this. Oh, that's my alarm to tell me 30 minutes before the market gets over. Oh, this is my event study program, and as I said, this other program's running. Going to back up right now here in a second. I just want to look at the.
No, you don't trade on Fed days, right?
Yeah, I do. Don't update this. This I was looking. This is like looking at the first, second, third, fourth. I can look at any day of the month I want to, any time in this events program. But this gap program, and let's put this down here, and now I'll go back and grab this. Oh, I have the ability to look at a lot of the same things in a lot of these programs, but these are like all kinds of things that I look at. Every one of these columns is something else that I look at, and there's hundreds of different things in here that I look at to decide what I whether a gap's going to fill or not. And here's basic data. So I have like tons of data. I mean, in this program here, I have over 4,000 days worth of data. I have data going back to 1970, daily data in the SPX. So it's like 15,000 days worth of data that I can look back at. This program I need to update, but it's as I say, I look at a lot of things, and I save a lot of things. I save everything I do and have for a long time. And this is that master program that I'm talking about. It's really, I have different parts of these things and programs upon programs about what to do, and what's going to affect the market. But the master program that I'm working on, it's going to be the culmination of like 5 years of work. And I think it's, I know certain parts of it are really good. They give, great indicators about what's going to go on. And I'm hoping that I will only know when I, finally test it all put together. And as I say, I'm working on putting it together. And this was like one of the master portions of this program. I mean, there's altogether, this program is going to have about 8 million bits of data in it to that it'll look over, a couple hundred different things to figure out whether the market's going to go up or down, and it's based on 5-minute data. I have all the 5-minute data from like about 1990 to now. I have all the 5-minute data on the S&P and the NASDAQ. So overnight, day data, all kinds of data. And I've found a lot of different things that are unique. Just like I said earlier, but when we first started, I said I think that there's a good possibility this market will end up over this 68.93.25 today. We have 27 minutes.
Well, here, Rich, why don't we switch? Because what you usually do in the last half hour for the guys in your room, why don't we just switch over to that? Why don't you just work the close like you normally do?
Okay, well, working the close like I normally do, I run that VDB, and I can run one right now just to show you what happens. But right now, when I ran this right before we started here at 3:00, my VDB, which is it's the volume data bar graph, says the cash is going to close at around 68.60. Currently, we're at 68.39, so and it went down to what was the low? The low was 68.25. If it gets over this 68.80 right here, if we start trading over 68.80, it's going to go up here to 68.93. And I'll explain that in a little bit, but let me run. I'll run the current VDB, and we'll have a real good idea, because I'm sure it's dropped a little bit, but probably not that much.
All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera. I want you to do this on your own, and then I'm going to remind everybody that MrTopStep is opening up what they call the pit, and the pit is going to be a free trading room where everybody can come in. And all the different guys in our block of trading groups will be able to come in. Rich will be able to come in. David Dubay, Manny, Jim Mayo. We've got Marlon, myself. Who am I missing? Oh, Market Profile Tom. And, we're going to continue to kind of push it out a little bit. And I got to say, it's probably not going to be perfect in the beginning. We're going to have to work this out. Right now, we're streaming out to 4 different channels. And soon it's just going to get better and better. But I think this is a good opportunity for people that don't want to have to pay to go into a chat or something, but still like to hear what other people are saying. You'll have the meme, you'll have all the stuff that Mr. Top Step's got, and you'll be able to see what everybody else has got going. So, Rich, I appreciate your time. I'm going to go off camera and turn my sound off.
Okay, guys, I'm running I'm running this VDB that I just downloaded the current data. I download it and then I enter it, open it up, and put it in this program. And this is the most current one. And of course, everybody knows what anybody, if anybody's familiar with Max Payne, this is what the Max Payne shows. This is what everybody else looks at. But then I have a different program that I run this through. Rather than the simple Max Payne formula, I have a Max Payne 2 calc. I'll run that. And right now, it's still saying 6860. Let me look at this, 6860. So I'll go to the data bar graph. That's right here. So we're currently trading at 6834. That's right down in here. And I'm saying that this Max Payne is saying it should end up at 6860. So I'm saying the market's not going to break down more. It's more than likely going to go back up. And if it that's about a 25-point rally to get to that point. So 25 points on 65.70, that would take it up to I think it could rally back up in here someplace very easily, especially if it gets over the 68.80. So we'll wait and see what the order imbalances are. They're going to be coming up in we got about 15 minutes before that happens. A little less maybe, but right now I'm thinking higher. So let's just kind of sit by and watch and see what happens here. But that is what I'm looking for. And by the way, if I don't know if I can type this in there, but I guess I could show this right here. Let me go grab this real quick. That's my website, Handle Stats, Handel. It's actually Handel. Handel means to trade in Dutch, inspired by the fact that the Dutch East India Company was the first publicly traded company, and the tulip bulb mania in the 1600s was the first recorded market mania. Anyway, go check it out. I just rebuilt the website, so I'm still adding stuff back in, but I put out my sheets every day. And we can take a look at those real quick here, and we'll see how on target things have been today. Well, you see my 1SD level. That means that 68.5% of the time in a normal distribution, the market is expected to not exceed that. And my numbers have been pretty statistically on par with that. They work. In other words, so and as I say with this VDB, I'm looking at sometimes you can get pressure of the market into the close on the downside, but lately the market has been real resilient. So I'm still looking for this to come back. Some, I don't know how much, but some. Definitely every once in a while the VDB is wrong, but it's been really spot on for. I can't even put a number on it. 90% of the time over the last couple of weeks, it's been like within $2 or $3 or less of where the cash market has ended up. So looking at some of my stuff here, everything's down a little bit. Well, pretty much everything. Got a few things that are still up. By the way, another stock that I've been very hot on for a long time, I think it's going to outperform the market substantially over the next couple of years, and that's Intel. I can't say enough about it. It's a company that's undergoing a lot of change, and I think they're going to do real well over the next couple of years. So here we are. We have 20 minutes left to go. And I think we're going to have something coming back here. Here's the NAS. Oh, let me get this right here. Move this over. All my levels are color coded, and that color coding means different things. These gold levels are significant levels, and these purple levels are also significant levels. I mean, they usually provide on a daily basis. These are big numbers, and so are the gold levels. I have other colors that I look at from time to time. And then you can see I put the daily standard deviation levels. This is 1 up and 1 down, and then there's weeklies. Standard deviations, 1 up and 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, if the NASDAQ gets back above 25,981, which is only 60 points away, they could rip way back up here. And that's, I would not be short right now. So this is what I do every afternoon. Look at the VDB, look and see where things are trading. Obviously, right now it's a down day. Yesterday I ran the study for today, and it was a 50-50 probability of being a down day. Tomorrow's a little stronger probability that it'll be a down day. And I'm not looking for anything significant down. This month has been a really strong month, though. And of course, September was very unusual in that it was, as far as points gained, it was the largest points gain of September in history. Percentage-wise, it was not the largest, but still up there. Second largest, third largest in the last 15, 16 years. Point-wise, forever. Oh. Last 15 minutes coming. As I said, I'm looking for some kind of rally back. And it could be pretty goofy here at the end. Oh, thank you. I'm just learning. This is the first time I've done one of these. I think SteamYards. It's been set up for us. I hope you guys like it. I'm not really familiar with how all of it works, but I'm sure going forward, if Danny's going to be using this, I'll learn a little bit more how to interact with everybody on it and see what's going on. So right now, chat with everyone in the studio. Oh, that's that. I don't know the comments. Let me see if I can click on comments. Oh, thank you, Abed Ali. Yeah. Well, I'll learn a little more over the time. Thanks, Mark, for reposting the stream. Very, could be very exciting. Last 15 minutes, still kind of holding here. For as many up days as we had, this isn't really giving up that much. The world is not ending yet. Far from it. So as I said, I'll learn to use this and interact a little more, as it comes. I know there must be ways that, how long am I in this market? Well, I've been trading pretty much full time since 1989. So I've been trading a lot of years. Let's get that. Make sure that's off. It rings usually it rings right on the exact close. Somebody's calling for my wife usually. Anyway, I traded in Chicago. Simply, Danny and I have known each other for over 30 years. Danny, of course, was one, if not the largest floor broker in the S&P pit for many years. And I traded there on the floor till 2005 when I moved out here to Colorado. And I've been trading on the screen from out here. And then about 5-6 years ago, I started to learn to program so I could do some quantitative analysis. And I really like doing it. I put a lot of time and effort into it, but it takes a long time to really, get good at programming and to learn what, how to, present things. And I'm just now, over the past 6 or 8 months, I've been getting into being able to program actually live trading algos. Oh, we're dipping down, only a slight surprise here, but I'm still banking on the fact that they're going to surprise everybody and turn around and come back up, because we haven't these high frequency trading algos have they've been able to, when normally, prior to like the last couple of months, if we were trending down, they would push it down to the lows or to the highs, whichever direction the market was going, and tend to push it right into the close, kind of like what they're trying to do today. But the last couple of months, it hasn't worked so well for them. I mean, they've always, especially to the downside, it's generally pushed back up. And I still say something out of the ordinary could happen to the upside in the last 10 minutes. And we are going to have the order imbalances coming up in about just a little over 1 minute. So, and those come on MrTopStep. Danny puts those live in his trading room, and my room that's also on his platform. So it's there for us to see, and we're going to get that in less than a minute. I'm just going to pop over that page and see. I can see if I could show. Well, I don't know if I can show that. Danny will have to show that someday. I'll look at it. It's pending right now, and it comes out at exactly 10 minutes before the close. And as I said, I'm thinking that regardless of what it shows, it's going to pop back up a little bit. So 15 seconds, and we will see what the market's looking at here for the order imbalances. A little over $1 billion to buy. It's not. I don't think that's all that big. 56% of the stocks are buys. Definitely a little slanted towards the buy side right now. That could change pretty dramatically going into the close, but right now it's looking like it's buyers. Looking like buyers. I'm going to go here, back to here. Looking like buyers going into the close. So I don't really have much to say about it other than I think we're gonna pop up here a little bit. Cash is currently trading 68.30. My VDB was 68.60. This may be the one time in the past 2 or 3 weeks that it has been off by so much, but which is, sometimes it happens, and sometimes I can read that VDB graph and tell that it will continue lower, but today's graph didn't show me anything other than it wouldn't go below 6,800. I mean, it's wasn't really indicative of pushing up or pushing down. So in that case, I have to choose the upside. So we'll hang on this. As long as we're here, we might as well hang till the close, the cash close. As I say, I'm still looking for a rally, somewhat of a rally back. Let's see what that's doing right now. And now it's showing a little bit to sell, not much. I mean, in a $50 trillion stock market, $1 billion buying or selling is not really much. Not really much. Oh, I have a couple things I can probably take off up here. They're actually positive on the day. Been playing Rigetti Computer RGTI. I have a little bit on there, and that's up today, 3 points. So I'll probably take some of that off. And what else do I have? I had something that was almost QuantumScape. I have a little bit of that on. That's also almost positive. It's kind of hanging up there at the highs. 7 minutes left to go. A bid. I'm looking for the whole market to go a lot higher. What do I think about algo trading? Future of algo trading. I mean, I'm building algos now to trade. I mean, anybody can build an algorithm to trade. It's just a matter of whether their algorithm is right, and whether, I think it depends on, you figuring out, looking at something that is unique, and being able to program that unique idea into the trade, and then manage the trade. So. And it takes a lot. I mean, not to say that. I mean, obviously, I think I'm going to be able to do it. I have some things that run that seem to work, but obviously, I'm trying to get something that works, pretty. Pretty flawlessly, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Wouldn't we all like that, though? Let's see. We have. 5 minutes left. 5 minutes. And as I usually say, 5 minutes till paradise. That's the close. And this is what the algos were doing earlier this year. If they were pushing down, they push down and keep, pin it on the lows. And then the last 2 or 3 months, that really hasn't worked that well, even though they just hit a low. And I thought they'd come back. And then what do they do when they've been doing that? Usually right after when they reopen after the cash close, which is instantaneously, they usually tend to go a little higher. If you notice that, I don't know, maybe you guys have noticed something different, but that seems to be the case with me, that when they push them down and try to end them on the lows, that they always pop back, especially right after the cash close. And I think a lot of that is options related. Let's look and see. I want to see what I have going here. 4 minutes. By the way, I like to trade in the after hours because the market gets thinner, and I think if you're right, it can move pretty well sometimes. Well, one of the unusual days, and that's pinning it on the low. Kind of surprised. This makes my premise about Monday for the first day of November. If we're down a couple days here, it will just, especially tomorrow, make me want to be going. I'll go home as long as I can possibly get. So I'm hopefully something like this will happen tomorrow, and then Monday it will do what every other November has done when it starts on a Monday, and that's be up. Two and a half minutes. Just a buying opportunity going into November, which is seasonally the strongest month of the year. Well, for trying to knock it down quite a bit, they certainly didn't get it down that much. Minute and a half. Push. We have not had a down day where we ended up on the lows in quite a while. I'll have to go back after the close and look and see when that was. Look and see when that was. 30 seconds. And as I say, what I've noticed is that when they do push down like this, right after the cash close, they turn around and rally back some. Turn around and rally back. And there's the cash close, 4 o'clock. I don't use that 4 o'clock close, so you'll see my settlement. This is for tomorrow. It automatically updates. But anyway, that's it for right now. Thanks for coming. Watch for more of this to take place, more of these. And Danny's going to have a room where we're going to share. And yeah, right here is what I said. When they end up on the lows, I've noticed that they have a tendency to rally back some right away. And I think that's more options related. When the options get going, they can pin it one way or the other, and then as soon as those options are exercised or expired, boom, it's right back the other way. So that's the pattern. Yeah, just as I said, it's like, it's not magic. It just is what they do. I don't know. As I say, I have ideas about why that works that way, but here they are going back up. And that is also why I use a different settlement time. I don't use that 4 o'clock settlement because of this kind of behavior, market behavior. Oh, the NASDAQ's getting ready to scream higher. Anyway, as I said, pretty typical. I expected this to happen right before the close, but they did that's the pattern they were doing earlier in the year, push them, and then as soon as the cash market closes, take them back up. Anyway, enough said. Thanks for coming in, and you can always reach me, email Rich at Handlestats, or you can email MrTopStep Danny, I think, at MrTopStep. So thanks for coming, and we will see you later, I hope.